I want to bring in Christian Whitton on foreign policy and domestic policy and all the other stuff going on here. Look, President Biden is surrounded by crises, foreign and domestic. Is he up to the job?
Yeah, I think pretty clearly he is not. And more importantly, foreign leaders think he is not. He ran on bringing back normalcy, in effect, that putting an end to the Trump era, putting an end to some of the turbulence, not just with foreign adversaries, but with allies. And what has happened? Anything but that has happened. I think the French are more to blame than the U.S., but we're at loggerheads with France. You have this just terrible image and action coming out of Afghanistan, where the U.S. Killed 7 children and frankly lied about it until they were caught by the New York Times. And you have the collapse of U.S. power more broadly in Afghanistan. So they want to change the topic from this, but I'm not sure they'll be able to.
Do you think the Chinese will bail out Evergrande?
I think so. There's just so much on the line. There's so much zombie debt. There's so many corporations that have been allocated capital for political reasons in China. Their economy really depends on staunching this crisis in some way. However, a bailout's going to look, I think, very different than it would in the United States, where you may just give a company money and wipe out the equity holders. It'll look more Chinese. The debt holders might be wiped out. Some executives may go to prison. Some banks may be forced to offer loans at 0 interest. There are things like that are a little more Chinese than American.
You know, Beijing is surrounded by crises, foreign and domestic, almost as much as Washington, D.C.
That's, Xi Jinping has orchestrated this left turn and has resoundingly reversed what began under Deng Xiaoping, which is this liberalization and this idea that China should gain power and do so more tacitly, more in a more subdued manner. He has been very aggressive. Part of it was to initially, in the name of anti-corruption, was to gain control of the country himself, to reward his cronies, to push out his predecessor's cronies. Now it's really coming to manifest itself in a number of these crises because hardcore left-wing communism ultimately doesn't work. It ultimately is the inefficient allocation of capital.
You got that right. Christian Whitton, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. See you again soon.